Hello. Nope, I didn't say hello. Okay, it's okay. I can say hello to myself. On YouTube, we are live on YouTube. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. I see many cameras. Yay, it's wonderful. Wow, very nice. Please switch on your webcam. Don't be shy. I think by now you know, yes, Payal and myself pretty well now. Yay, we see some new faces as well. Okay, very nice. Hello, everyone. Welcome to live cooking class hosted by Payal from the Community Kitchen and YoRipe. My name is Xing Yan, and I'm the founder of YoRipe. We inspire you to cook, give you ideas, recipes by different type of cuisine. Today, we're going to cook Korean food, which is very exciting. And our app is available to be downloaded on App Store or Google Play Store. You can find over 1,800 recipes and videos in it. So this is a monthly class that we do with Payal. We started during the circuit breaker period, and we did a weekly back then. And now we wanted to continue because we really enjoy this cooking, co-cooking with you all. And thank you so much for joining our August class today. And we're going to kick off with two very interesting Korean dishes today. So what's going to happen is that Payal is going to cook the dish step by step, showing you. You have received the ingredients list beforehand. Anytime if you have questions, feel free to type in the chat box. I'd help to ask. Or if it's really urgent, you can just unmute yourself and ask, because I think today is a pretty intimate setting with over 30 people. So let's start cooking, shall we?
Shall we? Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Payal from Commune Kitchen. A lot of you know me already, but I still have to bore you with the details of who I am because there are a lot of new people joining us each month. I am the culinary director and founder of Commune Kitchen in Singapore. We host affordable hands-on cooking classes in our kitchen in Downtown Gallery, and we promote home cooking. We want to bring more and more people into our kitchen and yours, and we want to bring families together so they enjoy the art of cooking together. Today, we will be doing a Korean, we're actually doing two Korean dishes. We're doing the famous Kimchi Fried Rice, and then we're also doing grilled Gochujiang chicken. We're going to get started by marinating our chicken first. So get ready with your chicken breast. Preet, can we move the camera here so I can show them what I have? Okay, I've got 4 chicken breasts. Mine are quite small. These are organic chicken breasts. Your chicken breast shouldn't be more than 500 grams. So if you haven't measured them, do so now. If you've got really big chicken breasts, then you might want to double the quantity of the marinade. How do you tell if they're big or not? If they're bigger than your breast, then they're definitely very big, too big. So if they're big, then double the quantity. If they're tiny like my chicken breasts, then you keep the quantity of the marinade as it is, okay? So I've got 4 pieces right here. Mine were almost 400 grams. And we're gonna get started by making the marinade. So grab your chicken and also grab a large Ziploc bag if you've got one. I've got one of these.
Convenient for marination.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're using a little trick. The reason why I'm using a Ziploc bag today is because I want to tenderize the chicken slightly, and I can do that inside the bag so it doesn't get all messy. All right. So we're gonna get started by making the marinade first. Now you have to get all your sauces ready first. You need light soy sauce. I've got Lee Kum Kee, which is a Chinese brand, but it's okay. I'm just going to use this today. You got to get your rice vinegar. Got to get some sesame oil, salt, pepper. You need some toasted sesame seeds. I have about a tablespoon here, and I'm going to use it all. I have some garlic, 3 cloves of garlic. I've got some ginger. I only need about a tablespoon of grated ginger, and we'll get to that in a minute. And I also have some gochujiang here. Now, gochujiang is fermented Korean chili paste, and we're going to be using this in all 3 of our recipes today. We're going to be making a gochujiang mayo, we're making fried rice, and we're making the chicken, and we're going to be using this in all of those recipes. And if you bought this tub, mine is quite large. If you've got it, I will tell you how to use it further as well as we proceed into the class. So let's get started with the chicken first. The first thing you need to do is place your chicken into your bag and close your bag. All right, so do that first. Place your chicken into the bag and close it. Then flatten the pieces into the bag. So all 4 pieces flattened out, straight. And my chicken isn't very thick, so I am going to bash this very gently with a rolling pin. If you've got a mallet, a meat mallet at home, by all means use that. But if you haven't got a meat mallet, you can use just a regular rolling pin. And you know, you don't want to beat the living daylights out of it. You just have to flatten it out a little bit. That'll help the marinade to absorb better into your chicken. So very gently start bashing it to flatten it out and make sure the evenness, the thickness is even in all your pieces. So then when they cook more evenly. You know how when you sometimes try to grill your chicken breast, what happens is the thicker side takes longer to grill or cook, and the thinner side cooks too fast, making it dry. If you do this step, that way it cooks more evenly. So very gently, not too much, because I don't want to make it fall apart. That's good. Okay, so they're quite flat right now, which is good. And now I'll move on to making my marinade. If you're already done, give me a thumbs up so we can move on to the marinade.
Yes, I see thumbs up.
Okay, fabulous. Let's start with our garlic first. You need 3 cloves of garlic. We're going to start by peeling the garlic. Just gently bash it, gently squash it under your knife. This way, the peel comes off more easily. Okay, once you've done that, you can either use a mortar and pestle to mash the garlic, or you can simply grate it using a microplane. I actually find it way easier to use a mortar and pestle, but you can use, you know, a small grater or a microplane to do this like this. Just make sure you don't grate your finger, all right? I know it's extra protein, but nobody wants to eat skin. See, it's kind of hard to do it on a microplane. You have to be super careful. It's actually way easier to do this on in a mortar and pestle, so I'm going to do that. Ginger, on the other hand, it's way easier to grate your ginger. So I'm just going to take a knob and peel it using a small spoon quickly. And I'll go back to my garlic in a minute in a mortar and pestle. Let me finish my ginger. All you're doing is making a very fine mince of your ginger and your garlic.
Can we make more of this, like ginger and minced garlic in once, and then put them in the fridge and, you know, use them like by spoons as we cook dishes?
You can, but they lose their flavor. They're not as strong. The flavor wouldn't be as good In my opinion, ginger and garlic have a punch, and that punch is best when you use them fresh. And you know, it's okay to do that in the West where you don't get ginger and garlic very easily and very conveniently in the supermarket next door. But in Asia, there's ginger and garlic everywhere. I actually prefer doing this as in when I need it. See how easy that is? So you need about a tablespoon of ginger there. Tablespoon of grated ginger. Make sure you've peeled it before you grate it, because otherwise you're going to get a very earthy flavor, which you don't want. All right, so that's about a tablespoon. And the garlic, I was finding it hard to do on my grater. So I'm just going to grab my mortar and pestle, and I'll do it here.
Now that the first step to add ginger and the garlic to marinate the chicken.
Was that a question? I'm sorry, I did not quite get that.
No, I was just explaining that we have the step.
Okay. Your line keeps breaking up in between. Shinyan.
Oh, yes. Let me fix that.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, so my garlic is ready. My ginger is ready. Yours should be too. And if it is, we can get started with the next step. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to make the marinade, and we'll get started.
Yes, I see thumbs up.
Okay, so place your ginger and your garlic into a bowl, and we're going to make the marinade in the bowl. All right, now your gochujang that you bought, it usually has a rating. It tells you if it's mild or medium hot or hot, okay? So check the rating on your gochujang. This stuff can be quite hot if you use too much. So I'm going to start with 1 tablespoon today, just 1 tablespoon. And once you get to know your gochujang today, you can add more next time, okay? But for now, I'm going to add 1. So grab a tablespoon, a proper measuring tablespoon, one that looks like this, okay? And we're going to start adding all of our ingredients now. We'll start with 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, light soy sauce, which is going to add saltiness to this recipe. 1 and 2. And like I said earlier, if your chicken breasts are very large, then double the recipe. Instead of using 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, you'll need 4, okay? Here I have rice vinegar. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar. Now the ingredients list that I gave you, I also mentioned quantities in that. So keep that handy in case you get confused. Rice vinegar is 1 tablespoon. I have 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame oil. And this is going to give it a beautiful, beautiful flavor. Koreans use a lot of sesame oil in their food. You need a tablespoon of toasted sesame seeds. All of those go in. This is toasted white sesame. You're going to need some salt, some pepper. So add a pinch of salt if you're not using what I'm using. If you're not using a salt mill, use a pinch of salt. So about a 1/4 teaspoon, I'd say, of salt. And a few grinds of black pepper. All right. And then we've got my spoon back here, and I'm going to add a tablespoon of this beautiful red stuff. Okay, Koreans also add chili peppers, so ground chili peppers in this recipe, but I'm going to skip that today because I'm not sure how much you like chili. I personally love chili, but my stomach doesn't, so I try to avoid it as much as I can. I'll leave this down here while I chop my spring onion now. So take 2 spring onions, get rid of the root, and then chop it very fine. And this is going into our marinade as well. Now, the only thing missing in here now is some sweetness, which I'm going to add in the form of honey. You can add either honey or sugar. I need about a tablespoon of honey in here. My spring onion goes in, and I'm going to go grab my honey. I need about a tablespoon of honey in the recipe. A measuring tablespoon again, okay? So about 15 ml of honey. The honey is going to give the marinade sweetness. It's going to balance out the spicy and sour flavors. And it's also going to help caramelize the chicken when we pan fry it. Look at that beautiful color in there. Now you could easily turn this into a salad dressing, which I totally did this afternoon for lunch. I added some olive oil to this to thin it out a little bit and turned it into a salad dressing. Although I did reduce the amount of ginger and garlic in this, I only added a teaspoon of ginger and a teaspoon of garlic, not a tablespoon each. All right, so if you wish to do that, you totally can. And this marinade works great with pork ribs as well. So if you want to marinate your ribs in it, you totally can. If you want to make a salad dressing with it, you totally can. You can pour this into a pan, reduce it, and then use it on your fried chicken wings as well. You know, Korean fried chicken wings. You've got 3 recipes right there. And of course, the recipes that we're doing today. All right, so that's good. And I am going to transfer all of this into my bag now. So pour the entire marinade into the bag.
I like those magic hands.
All of it?
I say the magic hands.
The magic hands, yes.
The ziploc bag.
Okay, and now just rub it all in. Close the bag again and rub it all in. Now, if I had time, I would ideally marinate this overnight and use it tomorrow. But since we don't have a lot of time today, I'm just going to set this aside for 1 hour, for about an hour at room temperature, and we'll go back to it in the end, okay? Just make sure you massaged the marinade into the chicken really well. And we're just going to set this aside on our countertop for 1 hour. The heat will help the marinade to absorb faster. Okay, so that's done. I hope you're all done as well. If you are, give me a thumbs up and we can move on to the next recipe. This is what it looks like right now. Beautiful.
Very beautiful.
I'm going to set it aside.
Yes, it looks like, you know, those pre-marinated chicken that you buy from off the shelves, but no, you can make it your own, and it's much tasty,
Yeah.
fresh.
Very fresh and so easy to make.
Yes.
Okay, so I have actually finished making my rice. See that? People eating already.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I took 3 cups of jasmine rice and I gave you the measurements earlier. So basically you take 3 cups, which is about how many grams? 140 grams per rice cup. I'm just doing quick math in my head, which is very, very hard.
How can we?
It's 140 times 3. How much is 140 times 3? Oh, God. 420 is it? Okay, then 420. Okay, you've got. I started with 420 grams of raw jasmine rice, and I added the same volume of water to it, and I let it cool down. Now, I told you guys to make overnight rice, and I hope you've done that already. So give me a thumbs up if you've done it. If you haven't done it, you need to make your rice now very quickly. And as soon as it's done, you have to let it cool down so you can make kimchi rice in a little bit. Okay.
Many thumbs up.
Many thumbs up. That's good. People actually listened. I like that.
Yes.
Okay.
We want to cook the best meal with you.
Okay, so we're going to move on to making the mayonnaise now. All right. So grab mayonnaise. Get any mayonnaise you've got in the fridge. I'm going to get mine. I have Western mayonnaise. Good old Heinz. This one. And I'm going to take about a 1/4 cup of this stuff into a bowl. All right, let's do that. So grab a bowl, grab a spoon and a 1/4 cup. And also grab a teaspoon.
Yeah, I really like this dish because you use those two sauces that usually, we buy and then we're like, oh, they always lie in the fridge. What do we do with them?
Oh, mayonnaise is one of them, is it?
Exactly. Gochujiang as well.
Okay. You can actually mix the two together and it makes an awesome sauce.
Yay. It's a bit
I sometimes wish I made my own mayo, but we don't use it enough. Homemade mayonnaise tastes so much better than store-bought. And it's super easy to make. It's like 1 egg yolk and lots of olive oil. That's all there is to it. Okay, so I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of mayo and put it in my bowl. Okay, and to this, you're going to add anywhere between 1 to 2 teaspoons of Korean chili paste. So start with 1, I'd say. All right, because yours might be spicier or not. Mine is quite hot, so I'm going to start with 1. Okay, take 1 teaspoon of gochujang, put it in. Okay, that wasn't quite a teaspoon, so there. And to this, you're going to add a tiny bit of lime. I have some lime here, right here, and you only need about 1/2 teaspoon of lime juice, not a lot, just to give it a slight tang. Okay, you can use lemon juice if you want. I've got limes at home, so I'm just going to use lime. Here we go. All right, so just a tiny bit of lime juice, and we'll adjust everything in a minute. All right, take some salt. So a pinch of salt, a few grinds of pepper, and then bring it all together. And it gives you this beautiful orange sauce. And once you've mixed it, taste it and see if you need to add more salt, pepper, lime juice, or gochujang. It's completely up to your own palate. You can adjust it. Oh, this is so good. I could eat this with a spoon. So good. Mine's spicy enough, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'll just add a tiny bit more acid to it. So just a little bit more lemon juice. Give it a mix, and this is good to go. All right, I'm just gonna pop this in the fridge for now.
Yes, please feel free to test your.
I'm sorry?
Mayo. I say, yeah, please feel free to taste it and see how you like it. If you want to adjust it with lime juice, salt.
Okay, that's good. I'm just gonna pop this in the fridge now, and we will move on to the next part, which is prepping for our kimchi fried rice.
Kimchi fried rice.
So you've got to get your kimchi ready. Get your kimchi out of the fridge, bring it out, and we will start chopping the kimchi. Are you all done with the sauce? Giving a thumbs up so we can move on.
I think some are still finishing their sauce.
Okay, we'll give them a minute. And while they're doing their sauce, I'll show them what cabbage kimchi looks like.
We have a question here. Can you make the mayo in advance, like the night before?
Can you make what the night before? Sorry, the marinade?
The gochujang mayo sauce they just made. Can you prepare
yes.
it before?
Absolutely. Yes. You can make it the night before. You can make it a few days ahead. Just finish it within 3 days.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what I have. I have cut cabbage kimchi, which I got from the Korean store. And this stuff is everywhere. It's at cold storage. It's at fair price. I have a Korean store very close to my house, which is why I always get my stuff from them, because most of their ingredients are very good and authentic. This is the salad dressing I told you about earlier. So this is what I had for lunch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it was very easy. I just had to add a little bit of olive oil in there. I added a couple of tablespoons of olive oil to the recipe that we've already done for the marinade. Just give it a good shake, and you have your spicy gochujang salad dressing. And I had this with some leafy greens, mixed green salad, some of the chicken that I made. So the same chicken, I grilled it on both sides, sliced it up, let it cool down, and mixed it with some jackfruit, which I love. And I think the combination of sweet jackfruit and the spicy chicken with the sweet and spicy sauce was amazing. And I also added some toasted sesame and some toasted walnuts for crunch. I think it's the best salad I've had in a very long time. So do give it a try. This stuff is really amazing.
Okay, so I think most of people we are ready to
Yeah, okay.
start with the kimchi.
Okay, fabulous. So this is what we're gonna do now. We've got our kimchi, and you need about 1 cup of chopped kimchi. So I've got a cup ready, okay?
Payal, how
Yes.
how many grams is the equivalent to 1 cup of
Okay,
kimchi?
I'll have to check. Hold on, let me check. Okay, let me check how many grams that is. I will measure it out right now. Right, let's see. Okay, you're looking at about 175 grams. Okay.
Okay, so,
right, so let's do.
At home, it's about 175 grams of kimchi.
Yeah, so take about 175 grams of cabbage kimchi and use your quarter cup that you had earlier. And you're going to be pouring some of the kimchi juice from the same bag that you got the kimchi out of. Okay. You get your cup that you had from earlier, the quarter cup, and you're going to pour some kimchi juice in there. You need about a quarter cup. And if it's slow, like mine, you need to squeeze it out, okay? Just squeeze the kimchi in there and you will get about a quarter cup.
Payal, where do we put the juice, the kimchi juice?
Put it in a quarter cup. So get a quarter cup, about
Okay.
80 ml, and then start pouring it in there because you need about 80 ml.
I don't think I have any juice in this one.
You don't?
Like it's
Okay.
not very juicy.
Did you try to squeeze it?
I think I have another packet in the fridge. I'll try that.
Okay, okay. Try to squeeze it out. So you've got to squeeze the juice out of the kimchi. It doesn't come out very easily.
I think she's using from a bottle, so maybe you have to like use the spoon to press to get some of the juice out.
Yeah, the sauce is usually at the bottom. The juice is usually at the bottom, so you'll have to maneuver it a little bit to get it out. It should have some juice in it for sure. If you can't get a quarter cup, it's okay. Just get what you've got, okay? And we'll work with what we have. All right. See, I'm still squeezing. And what I'm gonna do after I finish is just add a little bit of vinegar in there. So then my kimchi doesn't go bad, the leftover kimchi, because it doesn't have any pickling juice in it anymore. All right, so that's good. I've got about a quarter cup in there, which is great. And if you don't have enough, it's fine. We'll just work with what you have. All right, here we go. So that's my leftover kimchi. I still have a good cup in there left, which I'm gonna use for, which I'm gonna keep for another day. I just have to make sure it doesn't go bad. So I'm just going to add a little bit of vinegar in there, rice vinegar, and that will serve as my pickling juice for the rest of the kimchi. I'll just close this, and the packet goes back in the fridge again, and we can use it another day. You can eat this with rice, with plain rice. It's great. It's got probiotics in it. It's great for your gut. So this goes back in the fridge. And we are going to start by chopping the kimchi. All right, so what you've got here, 175 grams, if I remember correctly. And what you're going to do is start chopping it and chop it into.
Hear the sound of the
Okay,
cutting the kimchi. The sound is very crispy.
it is. It's very, very crispy. And some of you might actually have a whole stalk of cabbage in there, Chinese cabbage in there, which is also okay. Mine is already chopped. Most of it is already chopped. I'm just chopping it further. But if yours is whole, you can chop it the same way into smaller pieces. Make sure you chop it fine. And taste your kimchi. Make sure it's sour. So I actually opened my packet of kimchi a couple of days ahead, so it becomes a bit more tangy. What they do when they sell packaged kimchi is they vacuum pack it, so it doesn't get the process of sourness stops. The fermentation process kind of stops while it's inside the packet or slows down, which is why when you open a new packet of kimchi, it's not as sour. But you wait a couple of days, leave it in the fridge, and it starts to become more and more sour. And I actually like the tang, which is why I opened my packet of kimchi a couple of days ahead. I opened this yesterday, so it's a little bit tangy now. And if you like the tang, then do the same thing. Open your packet of kimchi a couple of days ahead and leave it in the fridge, and you will get that nice tang that you have in kimchi when you eat it at a Korean restaurant. Okay, so that's good. See how finely chopped that is? All right.
Yes.
So I've got my kimchi ready. I have got my kimchi water ready. And I need a few tablespoons of gochujang. Now, depending on the heat, again, the amount of heat in your gochujang, you can use up to 3 tablespoons in this recipe for fried rice. Okay, I'd say start with 2 and see how you like it. If you want it more spicy, you can always add more spice the next time you do this recipe. Okay, so have that ready as well. You need about 2 tablespoons of kimchi, 2 tablespoons of gochujang, so red pepper paste. All right, I'm just going to pop this on top of my kimchi, so I have it all ready. And I'm also going to use some spring onion in this recipe. All right, I have a large spring onion here, and I'm going to use the bulbs for frying in the beginning with my kimchi. Actually, you know what? Let's set this aside for a moment and keep the kimchi here. My bad. Shouldn't have mixed the two together.
So if we haven't mixed the gochujang with kimchi, we just put it aside?
Yeah, just put it aside on the board, just so you have it ready, because the fried rice is very fast. You see, it comes together very quickly and you don't want to burn it. You just have to make sure all your ingredients are ready before you start your wok. All right.
Don't add the gochujang to kimchi if you have not.
Yeah, just set it aside. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm a little crazy. There, here. Okay, so I've got my spring onions. I'm going to keep those spring onion bulbs with my kimchi, and then keep the greens separate, because you will be needing the greens towards the end, okay, for your garnish. All right, So you've got your gochujang ready, you've got your chopped kimchi ready, you have got your spring onion bulbs sitting with your kimchi, and you have your spring onion greens ready to go on top of your rice. Okay. All right. So we are actually ready to cook. Oh, one more thing before we move over is take another cup. I've got my cup right here, and I'm going to add my kimchi juice in there in a large cup, and I'm going to pour another 1/4 cup of water and have that ready as well.
One ratio between the kimchi juice and water.
Yes, so add a 1/4 cup of water in there to your kimchi juice and have that ready as well. Okay, so you have got your gochujang, you've got your spring onion bulbs, you have got your chopped kimchi, and you've got your water and your kimchi juice ready, and you have your spring onion greens ready. We are ready to cook the fried rice if you are ready. Okay. All right.
Yes.
We're gonna move this over to the stove top. I need thumbs up, people. And we are gonna get started with the actual cooking process. Okay.
Okay.
So get a wok ready on medium to high flame. All right. Get your wok ready, medium to high flame. As you can see, I'm using a Chinese wok. You can use pretty much any wok you've got at home. Get some vegetable oil ready, or olive oil works too. Any oil that you use at home works. Heat up your wok first before you add your oil. You need about 3 tablespoons of oil in this recipe. Make sure your wok is smoking before you add your oil, so your oil doesn't disintegrate. I'm using olive oil today, and I'll make sure I don't smoke it too much, or my oil will disintegrate. And basically, you get rid of all the antioxidants and the good stuff in there when you disintegrate your olive oil. Okay, so we're going to start with 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, and 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And we're going to start with the kimchi first and the spring onion bulbs. So just the kimchi and the spring onion bulbs. We'll start with the bulbs and the juice. Oh, and the kimchi. Put that in. Nothing else, just the kimchi and the spring onion bulbs. And you are going to grab a spatula and just mix it all together and bring it together. Okay, once you've done that, and you've started coughing, you're gonna move on to the next step. So this doesn't take very long. You just stir fry this. Can you smell that, Xinyang?
Oh, I wish I can.
Okay, give it about a minute and then bring over all your other ingredients. So bring over your rice, put that in. Okay, all this is super fast, very quick. Add your rice. Add your liquids. So you've got your kimchi juice and your water that goes in, all of it. Okay, and bring it all together, basically at this point. And also your gochujang now. Okay, so add your gochujang after you've added your liquids. The water, the liquids that you've added, they basically help the gochujang spread out more evenly into your rice. So add all of your gochujang at this point. Along with your liquids, and bring it all together. And And if your heat isn't high enough, if your rice isn't sizzling, then increase it slightly. Bring it all together, and you see the nice red color in there already from the gochujang and the kimchi. If it starts to, crust up a little or stick to the bottom of the pan, that's okay. That's flavor.
Paya, is there a difference, would you say, between like Korean fried rice and Chinese fried rice?
The basics are the same. We've made Chinese fried rice here. The basics are very similar. They're all done in a wok. They're all done very quickly, and they are all done from overnight rice, so leftover rice. Yes. No matter which country fried rice is from, the basics are always the same. It's the ingredients that differ slightly.
Yes.
But the main component is rice.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's good. It's sticking slightly, so I'm just going to reduce the heat very slightly, and I'm going to finish it off with my spring onion greens, all of it, and a drizzle of sesame oil all over. So you're looking at about a teaspoon or a little bit more maybe. And now just bring it all together.
Is this some like the sesame oil and the spring onion is garnish?
Yeah, it's a garnish, and you add sesame oil towards the end. So your rice retains the flavor, the beautiful nutty flavor from the sesame oil. And you always add spring onion greens towards the end.
Yes,
because you don't want them to turn all, black from the heat. That's it. My rice is ready. And I'm going to serve this later on once I am done with my chicken.
Very simple, vegetarian, very flavorful.
Okay, see, that was super easy.
Yes.
And I'm going to give some to my cameraman because she is very hungry. Okay, there we go. That's done. I'm just going to cover this up so it stays warm.
Okay. So we have
that was super easy.
Exactly, super easy. Our first dish ready, kimchi fried rice with gochujang.
We'll actually be done very early today. We'll be done in the next 15 to 20 minutes, which is great.
I guess people are hungry. Can't wait to try.
Okay, so the last time after we finished the class, a lot of people asked me where the recipe was. We usually post the recipe. I post the recipe on my Facebook page and my Instagram page right after the class. And we also post the video the next day. So if you're looking for the recipe, I'll share it with you tomorrow as soon as we're done uploading the video for this class. And we'll post the recipe link for both the recipes on our Facebook page and our Instagram page. If you follow us, you'll be able to get the recipes. There we go. Otherwise, you can just go onto our website, communekitchen.com, and you can find the recipe there. You just have to go under chicken because this is a chicken dish that we're doing today. Just go under recipes, chicken, and you will be able to find it. I hope everyone heard that.
And it was so good, they want to make it again, so they came back and asked you for the recipe.
A lot of people came back and asked because I think we mentioned this last time as well, that we shared the link for the recipes last time towards the end, but a lot of people didn't note it down.
Because they were busy cooking. So even though we shared the Zoom chat, which we just did also for today's recipe.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to get started with frying the chicken now, the chicken that's been marinating for the past 30 minutes or so. Get a frying pan. You can get a heavy base frying pan like I have. Or you could use a cast iron pan if you've got a cast iron pan. Get it going on medium heat for a couple of minutes until it's nice and hot. So start doing that now. Is everyone done with the fried rice? Shall we move on to this? Give me a thumbs up if you are.
Thumbs up. Yay.
Okay, fabulous. Everyone on task, which is fabulous. So yeah, move on to a pan like mine. This is a big one. I will actually be able to pan fry all of my chicken together today.
Okay, so Payal, today we are pan frying, right? Grilling the chicken, but can we deep fry it?
Can you deep fry it?
Hmm.
If you want to deep fry it, you'll have to put some kind of coating on top. So maybe put a coating of eggs, flour, and breadcrumbs on it if you want to deep fry it.
Hmm.
I wouldn't deep fry breast like that because it's got a lot of moisture and it's going to make your kitchen very messy and it's going to splutter. So it's actually dangerous if you don't have a coating on top.
Yeah, because too much water.
Too much water in the chicken breast. So what you can do is get some egg, beat one egg, take lots of breadcrumbs in another bowl, take some flour in a third bowl, okay? Dip your breast in flour, then in egg, then in egg, flour, egg, and then breadcrumbs, and then you can deep fry it. Got it?
Yes, got it. Payal, just how about air fryer? Is it the same as deep frying?
Pan frying is not the same
No,
as deep
sorry,
frying. We are actually pan
frying.
frying today.
Air frying.
Yeah, we are pan frying today. We call it grilled. Oh, did you say air fry?
Yes, air frying.
If you can control the heat in your air fryer, yes, you can totally air fry it. Just make sure you do not overcook your breast because breast overcooks very easily. Actually, traditionally, this recipe is always done with chicken thighs, but a lot of my customers tell me that I never use chicken breast, which is why I decided to use chicken breast today to give them some variation. But traditionally, this recipe is done with chicken thighs.
Yes, the pan
Okay,
is
see
hot.
my pan is hot. I think we should move on and stop talking for a moment. Okay. The oil, take about a tablespoon of oil in there. Any oil will do. Spread it out. And grab a pair of tongs.
Wow, I think the pan is really hot.
The pan's hot, that's fine. And I'm going to place my chicken in there now. Okay, I've got a pair of tongs and I'm going to get my chicken. Don't put the marinade in there. So get rid of excess marinade and place your chicken breast one at a time in the pan.
Ooh, the seasoning sound.
Okay. Two. Now my chicken breast is quite small and my pan is quite big, so I can easily fit all of them in there. But if you can't, do it in batches. Don't overcrowd your pan because if you overcrowd your pan, your chicken's going to steam instead of frying, okay? You don't want to overcrowd your pan.
Yes.
Make sure there's a little bit of space in between your pieces.
Yeah, it's perfect for one pan meal.
Yep. Now I'm going to give this a good 3 to 4 minutes on one side. I'm not touching it. I don't want to touch it because I want a nice char at the bottom. So
Okay.
give it a good 3 to 4 minutes at the bottom and then we'll flip it.
Okay.
And the heat is on medium right now.
So medium heat, don't touch the chicken yet. Let them grill.
Yep. And if your medium is not as high as mine, then you might want to adjust the heat. I'll show you what I have right now. Okay, my chicken is constantly sizzling away on medium flame. If you want to put this in the oven, you can.
Ah, yes, that's a good idea.
Just make sure you brush a little bit of oil on it before you put it in the oven.
Is
And
there
you can actually
Paya, you don't cut the chicken to like stripes before you grill them?
Okay, if you cut it into strips, you're basically making bulgogi.
Ooh, okay.
All right, you're basically stir frying the chicken and making bulgogi. Bulgogi has all the same ingredients in the marinade except the gochujang. It doesn't have gochujang in it. But other than that, what they do is they cut the chicken thighs most of the time. So boneless, skinless chicken thighs into strips. And then you add all of the same ingredients that I added earlier. Let it marinate overnight. And then you stir fry that in some oil very quickly on high heat in a wok with sliced onions. And then you have another dish.
Yay.
Yeah.
And Paya, I think you're very disciplined because I don't know why. I just can't keep the chicken still. I love to like flip them over very early.
Okay, I'm gonna check now. Since you mentioned it, there. 1, 2.
Ooh.
3, and 4. Yeah. Looking good. And you'll see
Well
the
chopped.
marinade sticking right there and your pan starting to burn, which is why I said don't put any excess marinade in there because it will stick and it will burn your pan badly. So it's sticky marinade, yeah?
Mm.
Yeah, and burnt meat isn't good for you. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, at
Payal,
this point,
sorry.
just quickly for a minute. It's just at this point, if you think your chicken's starting to burn at the bottom, reduce the heat slightly because you need a good 3 to 4 minutes here as well. Okay,
Yes, please. We want
so
to
your
cook
chicken cooks through. Yeah.
Payal, question. Is there anything we can do with the excess marinade?
You can actually, because it had chicken in it, just bring it to a boil again. Bring it to a good boil, let it simmer for a couple of minutes, and then you can use it like a sauce. Yeah, it's quite a lot here. See?
So we can use it, yes, as a.
Yeah, just bring it to a boil in another saucepan and let it simmer for a couple of minutes, and then you can use it as a dipping sauce for your chicken. Instead of gochujang mayo, you can use this, or you can marinate some more chicken in this and keep it in the fridge. I'm actually going to use this for some prawns. I have some leftover prawns, raw prawns in the fridge, and I'll throw them in here. Let me show you if I've got them. Here we go. And I am just going to throw these in here. And tomorrow I'll make a salad in the afternoon for lunch. And I will fry these on both sides, pan fry these on both sides. And I have some protein to go on my yet another Korean salad with the dressing that I made this afternoon.
Yeah.
So 3 meals done. All right, so that's looking good. I'm just gonna flip it and give it another minute just to make sure I have cooked it through properly, and then I'll take it out. The chicken, because my chicken was smaller than yours, it's organic chicken and it's quite small. It's not gonna take more than 8 minutes to cook, okay? But if yours is larger, if your pieces are larger, they might take another couple of minutes on each side. So make sure, always make sure you've cooked your chicken really well. Do not eat undercooked chicken. Okay, I'm gonna get ready with my board. I'm gonna take my chicken out on a chopping board because I am getting ready to plate. Now my chicken looks done. I'm gonna start by taking out the thinnest slice that I have in there. Okay, so that one done. This is quite small, that must be done. That looks done as well. Looking good. And see the condition of my pan right now, it's awful. It's got marinade and sticky bits all over. I'm just gonna put some water in there and let it soak before I clean that tonight. All right, so that's done. Chicken ready, rice ready. We're gonna grab, if everyone's done, give me a thumbs up so we can move on to the next part, which is frying the eggs for plating. I'm just gonna set this aside and let it cool down for 3-4 minutes before I slice it.
Payal, I'm going to skip the egg because I have an egg allergy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's fine. Egg is just for garnish. If you don't want to use it, that's perfectly fine.
I see thumbs up.
Okay, everyone ready to make the eggs? Okay, to fry your eggs, you need a non-stick frying pan or a well-seasoned cast iron pan, whatever is easier for you. To make sure you get your fried eggs perfect every time, it's actually best to use a non-stick pan. And that's what I'm doing. I'm using a non-stick pan today. All right, so we are gonna get started with medium heat again. Start your burner. Get your burner going on medium.
Eggs because it's for 4 people, right? The portion.
It's for 4 people. Yeah, so you've got to make 4 eggs. I'm gonna do just one right now. Okay, because I'm the only one eating now. So I'll just make one for now, maybe two. All right, so one per person basically. And you also have to get some sesame ready. So have some toasted black and white sesame ready for garnish. I have this right here. Got that ready for garnish. And you also need some spring onion for garnish. So just the greens. I've got some, and we'll chop these up later on.
Okay.
I'm gonna start cracking my eggs.
Yes, I remember Payal telling us always crack the egg in a bowl so you can tell whether the egg is good or not.
Okay, and we're gonna start by putting some oil in your pan first. My pan's nice and hot, so I'm gonna reduce the heat now and put the oil in there, about a tablespoon, just to make sure it doesn't get stuck. Even though it's a non-stick pan, I just wanna make sure the first one doesn't stick, because I've used this pan for a very long time. Okay, nice and hot. Increase the heat slightly again on low to medium, and then put your egg in. Okay, I want to crisp up the edges here. Just gonna bring it together because I want a smaller egg. This is for garnish, and this needs to sit on my rice when I plate it.
2 eggs at the same time?
Can you fry 2 eggs at the same time? No, don't fry 2 eggs at the same time unless if your pan is really big and you can actually keep them separate.
Okay.
Okay, because you're placing 1 egg per plate, right? Okay, I'm just gonna crisp up the edges very quickly, increase the heat. You don't wanna cook the yolk, you just wanna cook the white. I'm sure everyone already knows how to fry an egg. Okay, that's done. I'm gonna turn the heat off and season this with some salt and some black pepper. You can use red pepper flakes if you want to season it. Red pepper flakes are really nice. They give it a nice color as well.
Yes.
Okay, and we are going to plate now. All right,
Yeah,
so
pepper flakes, really good idea. So because it's more as well.
okay. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get ready to plate. So watch. I've got my rice right here. My gas is already off. And I'm gonna get a bowl, a small bowl, just enough to fit a portion of rice in there. And I am going to fill this up to the brim and press it down. So when I invert the bowl in a plate, it forms a dome, okay? All right, so that's good. That's good for me, good enough for me. Just press it down all the way and then bring your serving plate over or take it out. Right there, okay? I'm gonna place my serving plate on top of my bowl on the side and then turn it over and then take the bowl off. That way I have a dome right there, okay? And then the egg goes on top. So your egg is done, just slide it on top. Very gently, right there, okay? That's done. Preet, can you bring this over here so I can slice the chicken now? All right, so that's my egg done right there. My chicken's right there. My mayo is in the fridge, so I'm gonna grab that now. My mayo is right here. And I'm gonna take a tablespoon of the mayo, place it on my plate, and you just give it a quick swirl. That's done. And I am going to slice up my chicken now into thinly sliced pieces. I'm gonna take the biggest one for myself right there because I love this so much. Okay, make sure your hands are clean and you're just gonna, you can either slide the whole thing on. I actually like to make a pile So I'm just going to make a pile right there. I could eat more. This stuff is so delicious. Slice some more.
Yeah, I think if you want to add maybe some greens, like maybe
Yes.
slices of cucumber.
Yeah, you can add some greens. You can add sliced cucumber in there for some vegetables. You can add some leafy greens in there if you like.
Yes.
And I am going to add some spring onion in there for garnish. Just the greens, okay? So very thinly sliced spring onion, not a lot. You just need a little bit on top of the chicken. Okay, and you need a tiny bit on the egg and on the plate maybe, okay? And you are good to go. And finally, there's one more thing. The sesame is the icing on the cake.
Yes, the toasted
Yeah.
white sesame.
Yeah, toasted sesame, a little bit on my egg, all over my egg, and some on my mayo. And I'm ready. And if you want to add a drizzle of sesame oil on there for extra added flavor, you totally can.
Yes, we
Make
love
sure you don't.
sesame
Me
oil.
too. Okay, so my dinner is ready. Would you like me to try this out and tell you how it is, Xinyang?
Yes, please. Wow.
Hers
Okay.
is done.
Nice plate.
Preet's dinner is done. That's what she's trying to show you.
That's only appetizer. I'm sure she wants more.
Okay, we're going to bring it over here so I can eat and tell you how it is.
And now, yeah, if you have any questions, you want to share how your kimchi fried rice or your gochujang grilled chicken with mayo tastes like, yeah, feel free to unmute your mic or just type in the chat box.
Okay, I'm here. Fire away, people, if you've got questions, and do show me your faces. How many people do we have joining us today, Xinyang? Finally?
We have 46.
46, huh?
Yes.
So we had over 100 sign-ups for this class, and we had 46 people. Are they all cooking, or some of them are watching as well?
We see some watching, but we see many cooking.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so please don't be shy. Just switch on your webcam. Say hi to Chef
Sure.
Payal.
Yeah, say hi to us and tell us if you're happy. I'm gonna eat now.
Flips of the plate for the rice happening.
I'm cutting open my yolk now. And that is so good with the rice. And it's also good together.
So how's everyone's? I think some of you are still dishing out the chicken and the rice.
Okay. Some people are dishing out already. Nobody's eating yet. Some people are still cooking the chicken, but I see a lot of familiar faces, and it's good that you guys can join us. Oh, I see someone's here.
Great.
Justin is done. Oh, that looks good, Justin. Well done. That looks awesome. She's so happy. Good job, guys.
She's very happy. It looks amazing.
Awesome.
Good. It tastes even better, I promise.
Yay. That's really nice. Wow.
That looks amazing. It does.
The chicken is so perfectly cut.
Yeah, lots of people are watching. You've got to start charging people. If you charge people, they'll all turn up, I'm sure.
Yes, that's right.
I think they're not turning up because it's free.
And just want a quick show of hands. Who is joining us for the first time? Yay! 1, 2, 3. Welcome. How's your first experience?
People are very shy today. Usually there's lots and lots of questions, but nobody's talking today.
It's yours. No, it's yours. It's your dinner. You made it.
Yum, yum,
You-
yum.
I made one for you. No, I ate some of that.
That's awesome, guys. Well done. Okay, before we say goodbye, I quickly want to say thank you so much for joining us today, guys. As you all know, it's a free class, but you know, if you can take the time out and leave us a review on either Google or TripAdvisor, that would be great. Please, please continue supporting us by joining us each month. We will be here every third Wednesday of each month, and leave us a review. You can find the review links on my website, www.communekitchen.com. Just scroll to the bottom of the page and you will be able to see the tabs for Google, TripAdvisor, and for Facebook. If you don't have Google or TripAdvisor, please do take the time to leave us a review. And if you want to scroll through more recipes, there are so many more recipes on our website. We've got vegetarian, vegan, we've got chicken, red meat, tons of easy to do recipes at home. Have a look at those. We've got recipes on our YouTube channel as well, Commune Kitchen SG. Have a look at those too. And if you have questions anytime, write to us. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And if you want to invest in a cookbook, I actually have a cookbook right here, a cookbook of Southeast Asian recipes. If you wish to order this, it's available online as well on our website, communekitchen.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Xinyang, you want to say anything else before we conclude the class?
Well, it's really nice to see you cook. Next time I'll definitely come and try some myself. Please, we have a feedback here from BN that this is great session. Love all the little tips given because it's what makes a good dish to be a fabulous one. Thank you, Payal. Saying that this Janet told us it's first time using Gochujiang. Thanks for showing me how it's used. So thank you.
It's an awesome condiment to use. It really is a great condiment. And remember, if the kimchi rice isn't tangy enough today, the next time you do this, open the packet a couple of days ahead, let it ferment a bit more, let it develop its tang, and then use it 2 days later. It'll taste better. Okay?
Yes, okay. Cool.
Bye, guys. Enjoy your dinner.
Yeah, enjoy dinner. Thank you. Bye-bye.